Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. If you're just stopping by for the first time, I'd greatly appreciate you subscribing to the page. We're nearly at 36,000 subs. How cool would that be? Our year-end goal is 40K, by the way. I think we can do it. But anyways, topic of today is Final Destination. All of the deaths. All of them from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's it. No, I'm just kidding. We're also doing Bloodlines kills as well today, which is so exciting. Last time I made a little video ranking all of these different kills. It was just 1 through 5. We never got around to actually doing Bloodlines. So I figured, let's do it with all of you guys. If you're, this might be your first time watching one of these streams where we do a tier list, but you guys can actually participate, which is pretty dang cool. And that link, if you're like, how do I do this? There's a link at the top of the live chat right now where you can click on that and become a participant. I had to reload the page. I saw that a few people were hanging out. I think there's like 3 people that I accidentally kicked out because I had to reload the page, but we're back. Hop on in, and then you'll be able to join in on the vote once I hit play on this little button here. I always like to say hi to my friends out there first, though. Like Villain Kill and Dylan, who's saying Isaac in 5 is a top death. Well, you'll have to vote S tier for him then, because we do have different ranking systems for all these different deaths. S tier, that's like best of the bunch. That's like reserved for like these are the most iconic deaths in all of Final Destination. A tier is like that's pretty good, still pretty solid, just not quite S tier. B mid. Middle of the road. Like, that was fine. Whatever. Not bad, not great. I'll take it. C was like, I feel like C is like, could have been better. That could have been a better kill. Maybe there was some potential there, just not the worst. Not scraping the bottom of the barrel quite yet, but that's reserved for D, which is like, dear God, what the hell happened here? D stands for dear God. I think that makes that makes sense in my mind. But also, who else is hanging out with us? We got Renamon565. Hey, yo, what up, what up? Saying Ashley and Ashlyn have the most painful and brutal deaths in the franchise so far. Oh, we're definitely getting to that one. That's one of my favorites. RJ Skarenki, or Richard J. Skarenki, as his father would call him, yelling at him. I'm just kidding. What's up, Richard? Saying, so excited for this this list ranking. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to get into this one. This is probably my favorite. Honestly, this is one of my favorite ones we've done so far. We've done a bunch of different generations of horror, but I'm like, let's do some kills from Final Destination. We have so many more to talk about, including the ones from Bloodlines now. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one for sure. Flamingo Productions is saying, hi there, Killjoy, my man. Ayo, welcome in, welcome in. Binge with Nick is saying, let's go. Oh, yeah. Horror Boy 9 saying, hi, hello. Just Jess modding for us. Appreciate you, Jess. What's up, what's up? You said first, though. I don't know about that one. But you know what? I love the spirit, though, Jess. Man, one day you'll be truly first. One of these days. King Matthew III, what's going on, my dude? Saying, what's up, Jake? How are you doing today? It's Friday, baby. I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. How are you? Nathan the Ribbit is saying, hey, Jake. Ayo. What's up, what's up? Thank you for promoting the stream over on Twitter. I saw that. I appreciate you for doing that. Means a lot. Bradley Flegel, ayo. Elevator kill is the best kill in the franchise. That, you know, there's a few elevator kills in this franchise, and I think all of them are very good. All that I like quite a bit. But there's one elevator one that's like the best, you know, and I think you know what, I think we're on the same page about that, Bradley. Red Hood Venom, hi, hello. Darfalina, ayo, Darf, what's going on? Hey, everybody, what up, what up? Who else is with us? We got Luke Freeman. Aaron in part 3 is the best one. Aaron is a good kill. Oh, we'll definitely, again, we're gonna get, don't worries, we're gonna get to all of these, my dude. Ty Lee is with us. What's up, Ty? What up, everybody? Ayo. What's up, what's up? Binge with Nick has been waiting for this all day. I love that. I love that so much. You've come, you're gonna bring it. You're gonna bring it to the stream, baby. We got 7 people hanging out with us, but we got like 26 people out in the chat. What are y'all doing? Hop on in, hit that link at the top of the chat, and then come on in here, get ready to vote. That's why we're stalling for time, so that we got more people in here. We only got 7 folks ready to participate? What's going on? Let's get more people in. Let's get at least the double digits, and then we'll start this thing. Paula Fitzhenry, hi. Hi, Paula. How are you? Welcome in. Samantha Robinson, a member. Thank you for your support, Samantha. You just got to see a killer new video, by the way, today. A little nasty review on the horror section's Jimmy and Stiggs, a movie I was really excited to talk about. So check that out if you haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch Bone Hill Road this weekend. I actually have time off this weekend for the first time all month. And you think I'm joking? I'm not. Actually going to relax this weekend and vibe. So we're gonna watch a bunch of movies. I'm forcing my fiance to just watch a bunch of horror movies with me this weekend. It's gonna be great. She's so excited for that, I imagine. Just so unbelievably excited. Martin Hayes is saying, hey, what's up, Martin? Yo, yo, yo. Blake Thompson. Blake Balake Thompson. Hi, what up? Jess is saying, if I vote, does my vote count? You haven't seen any of these movies, Jess, so no. This is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship. No, I'm just kidding. It's we're doing some very democratic shit here, I feel. Everyone gets to vote on where this ultimately ends up going. If it was just me, I imagine the opinion would be very different. We got 10 ready, so we're going to get this started in a second, but I see a few more of my friends popping in, like Mr. Arrowverse saying hello, hello. Cryptic is saying, Eric's is my fave death. That's a great choice. I'm excited to rank the ones from Bloodlines and see where they rank amongst the previous franchise. That's really exciting. And Kyle is saying, good afternoon, Jake. I'm excited for this list. My favorite is the traffic accident in 2. That's, I'm not going to lie. I hate to spoil it, but that's my number 1 as well. That's like, listen, there's some great kills in this entire franchise, but that's like the best one. Come on now. That whole sequence is a 10 out of 10. Teddy and Jess are here now. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome in. Ty, I am going to watch some of the recommendations this weekend, finally. I know I'm behind. Apologies, but we're finally getting into it, which I'm excited for. And one more person, Wes Carpenter Flicks. Hey, yo, my dude. Thank you for being a member. Unalive them all immediately. Roll credits. I love that. There's no unaliving here today, ladies and gentlemen. There's just kills. Let's get into this. So starting off with the thing that kicked it off in the first place, technically, if we don't count Final Destination 5 is a prequel, but technically our first big kill in the whole franchise, Flight 180, the premonition that started it all. Again, kind of, where does this one rank for us, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to hit the play, but for me, this is, like, honest to God, this is an A tier. I mean, like, some really great stuff here. I think arguably one of the very best premonitions in the entire franchise. I feel it's terrifying, but I don't think we have like a big showcase kill from this one, and that's why that's why it doesn't make S tier for me. I mean, like, this would be top of A tier if it was my list, if I could just vote, like the tippy top of A. Because, man, it is terrifying the first time you see that, dude. It's shocking. Like, you just started this movie off with these characters and they're dead. You're like, what? How's everyone's on fire already? Where is this going? And then, like, just the zoom out of his eye. The first time you see that, it's incredible, man. So lots to love about this one. The voting is open, ladies and gentlemen, so please go and vote. We got 13 participants and only 4 people have voted. So go on in and vote. You have 40 seconds left to decide where Flight 180 is going to go. So far, 4 votes for A tier. We have a vote for D tier. Oh, that's brutal. That's a brutal one. Who's putting Flight 180 in D? Who's dicking it down, baby? What's going on here? What's happening? Overworked Human is saying, I find it funny how the first accident was treated as such a tragedy versus the accidents today have the audience rooting for the chaos. That is very true. Like I said earlier, you don't really have a showcase like kill here. Like, there's not really like a standout, like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. It's more just about like the whole thing itself as a group. Like, where I feel like we get into, part 2, totally different story. Totally different story when it comes to that. We're like kind of like, oh shit, yeah, that was the most memorable from the premonition, and then here's the most memorable later on. Where the opening of the original, I don't know, I just feel like it's about the shock of everyone just died. Holy shit, what? I didn't see that coming. And I feel like it's because it wasn't a franchise yet. Not that Flight 180, I don't even think it's nowhere near the worst premonition by any means. I like it quite a bit. But I don't think it's my favorite. That's what I'll say. It's not my absolute favorite from the premonition. Some great stuff though. I saw a few people say S tier for sure, but I don't see y'all voting, so don't know what's up with that. If y'all voted, maybe that one would have made it to S tier. So my opinion's trash, guys. You guys got to kick my ass here. What's going on? D tier should be the racetrack from 4. Oh, no worries. We'll be able to rip apart the Final Destination throughout this one, let me tell you. But one I'm not going to rip apart, Charlie Reyes, technically our last death of Final Destination Bloodlines. Spoiler alert, I guess. The movie's been out for quite a bit now, though. Charlie Reyes gets hit with some logs. Here's my thing about this. I like it so much. I know it's another log kill, so it's nothing really like special or inventive. It's an A tier for me for sure. We're starting the voting, so go ahead and vote on Charlie Reyes' death. It's an A tier for me because it was such a surprise. I really thought moving into this new era of Final Destination, they weren't going to commit to the whole like, oh, we're going to kill as many people as humanly possible. Like, I really thought they were trying to set up Stephanie and Charlie as like new legacy characters. So this was a big surprise. I really didn't think Charlie or Stephanie was going to die in this movie. The shock of this one is what puts it up in A tier for me. Maybe not as high up as Flight 180, but it's like a little more middle of A for me personally. This one's getting a little more, speaking of mid, it seems to be going mostly to B tier, B and A. So this one's a little more middle of the road for folks, I think, is what it seems to be. Scooting up to A though. There we got 4 for A, 3 for B, 1 for C. So pretty middle of the road, mostly middling. Kill is how we're feeling about this one. Picky Piggy, what's going on, dude? Sorry I'm late. No worries, dog. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Make sure to vote in the poll. I see Pirated Copy is also with us. I forgot to say hi to you. Yo. You said S tier for Flight 180. Rock on, my friend. It's a banger. It's one of the scariest kills, I think, in the entire franchise. Charlie's death from Bloodlines A tier. We haven't seen a log death since 2. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I think that's kind of why it doesn't go to S tier for me. It's just because of the logs. I love logs, especially in this franchise. But I feel like because we've seen the logs before, it doesn't have as much of shock value as something like the original. Speaking of logs, Stephanie Reyes. I mean, again, I have the same opinion about Stephanie as I do Charlie. It was just a shock. I didn't think they would actually kill this character. The fact that they committed to that, pretty fucking awesome. Again, another A tier for me, for sure. Just the shock of it was like, no way. The first time I saw this, it was one of the most shocking parts of the whole movie, I feel, of Bloodlines, for me personally. So the voting has started, ladies and gentlemen. 80 seconds on the clock to vote for Stephanie. Where is her death going specifically? And I'll say this too. I don't know if we're necessarily voting on the character themselves. I think we're voting more so on their death. But I will say, I think characters, that can affect the death, though, I feel, because there's a character on this list that I hate, and their death is really satisfying. It might not be like my favorite on the whole list, but because it's this character dying, it maybe like lifts it up a little bit. But I don't know. However you want to, however we feel like voting. I'm not going to try to sway it one way. I don't want to sway, but I think it's an interesting one. This one's going to B tier, but Charlie goes to A. That's interesting to me. I feel like they're not too different of kills. But maybe I'll disagree. We have an S tier vote. We have a 4 for A and 5 for B. That's interesting. A little higher on the, maybe we are voting for characters. Maybe that's what's happening here. I don't know. I should do a tier list on the Terrifier kills. I think I might do that next week because we haven't done a whole lot of Terrifier stuff on the page, which is a shame. So I'm going to try to get some Terrifier stuff up next week for sure. Kenneth Reeves, what's going on, dude? This might sound crazy, but I felt the logs at the end of Bloodlines felt a little forced. Train made sense, but the log truck legit spawned from air. It could have been anything killing them. I feel. I think it was just the shock of the fact that they died from such a vicious, from something so kind of like mean-spirited and cynical. And I thought that was kind of like, it was fun. It was so mean-spirited. It was fun. It kind of like went all the way around the spectrum back to fun. So I didn't even mind that. I remember listening to the directors talk a bit about Bloodlines, and they were saying like, dude, everybody who talked to us about Final Destination said you have to have logs. That's the most iconic thing about the franchise. So I get it. I understand why they had to go that route. But I hear you. I hear you on that. Maybe it's a little too much like what we've gotten before in the franchise. But anyways, going to Darlene. This one, I feel like this is kind of our first like, whatever kill. Pretty expected. Also, another death that was just very similar to what we've gotten before. Ian McKinley dies the exact same way as Darlene in part 3. Sign falls down, or something falls down and crushes her. I think it's a lamppost in this situation, but in part 3, it was a sign that splattered him to pieces. Darlene's death, I don't know, kind of maybe one of the weaker ones of Bloodlines. I'm personally going to give it could have been better. I wish this character who actually had a lot of emotional weight, I kind of wish she got a little more of not more brutal death. It was brutal, but just a little more, a kill that had a little more weight to it is what I wanted from Darlene's death. I actually ended up really liking her. I felt bad. She was like a sympathetic, tragic character. Darlene is C tier, good character, but her death is my least favorite from Bloodlines. I totally agree, 100%. Nathan is saying, Jake, I only seen the first movie when I was little, so I'm not really going to vote since I don't really remember any kills from it except the plane and the log, though, through the car kill. Oh, shit, no way, dude. Well, I hope we're not spoiling anything for you. Yeah, I should have said this at the top of the stream, but we will be spoiling all 6 Final Destination movies and deaths and kills. That's the only way we can rank all of them, is to spoil them. So yes. Kenneth is saying, love your videos, by the way. I found you right before Final Destination 6 came out. Much respect. Thank you so much, Kenneth. I appreciate that, dude. I'm glad you dig it. If we, you know, it's funny, if we, I did this, but even if we don't make our super chat goal, I'm still going to post it. I don't care. But I jokingly said, hey, if we make our super chat goal on today's stream, I'll post the Final Destination video. I'm still going to do it even if we don't. But I have a good one coming out next week. A really fun theory I've been working on all week. I just haven't had any time to post about it because there's been so much Scream 7 news that's been really fun to talk about this week. But we have a new Final Destination video coming out at the tippy top of next week. Maybe I might even post it Sunday. I'm not sure, but I'm really excited for that one. It's going to be fun. What else do we got going on? Piggy Piggy is saying Darlene Campbell's death is F tier. It goes below D. I prefer her original death with the revolving doors. Yeah, that would have been cool. We saw a little tease of that in the trailers. I'm not sure what was going to happen with the revolving door. I wonder if that was like cut or what the hell happened there, but we saw like a brief scene in the trailer of Darlene getting her head like stuck in the revolving door of the what was it, the hospital, which I thought was really cool. That would have been cool to see, right? That would have been down for some head snappings. I feel like I'm actually I have a little anxiety going into a revolving door too, which is nice. Like I feel like that could have played on that a bit, and they didn't do it. Made me kind of sad. Too brief, but to be brutal. I agree with that, Blake. No, we didn't get to see any suffering. You sound like Pinhead. I love it. Fort Misery Gaming is saying, did you see the panel yet from Midsummer Scream? No, I did not. Oh man, that's exciting. I missed any and all of that. I'm gonna have to get into some of that. Nathan's not really paying attention, just hanging out. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Ty's gonna send me some digital codes. Oh shit, yeah, dude. Killjoy Jake 1 at Gmail. Send me any business inquiries you might have, or digital codes for movies. I will gladly take them. But anyways, Bobby Campbell. This is a pretty damn good death from Bloodlines. Maybe not as great as Eric's, but the spring through the head is the cherry on top of this entire MRI kill sequence. Bobby Campbell is a very high A tier for me personally. I love this kill quite a bit. It doesn't, I think my only criticism of it is it doesn't look fantastic when the spring goes into his head. Maybe my only big criticism, but it's an A tier for me for sure. We're not quite at S tier with Bobby's kill. Like I think Eric's I would put up there, but like Bobby's, like I said, like if Eric's kill is the sundae, Bobby's kill is the maraschino cherry on top. That's kind of how I feel about it. You posted into the main chat of the Discord a few days ago. It's for Terrifier 4 in the HHN houses. Oh shit, I totally missed that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get into that, dude. I've been so I've been so like nose deep in the fucking in the Scream 7 stuff. There's been a lot of things coming out this week, man. It's been real fun to talk about. Lots of things getting revealed about the movie from this new novel that's coming out. So it's just been nonstop making videos about it as we learn more and more and more. So I have not had time to do anything else. But I want to get a Terrifier video out. Next week, I'm going to try to not post a Scream video at all because, dear God, I'm so sorry. I feel like I flooded y'all with that this week. But there's so much, it's just too much to talk about. It's too much exciting stuff. We'll get into some Terrifier and Final Destination stuff next week, though, for sure. And also, you know, something else I just want to throw out there real quick is I can't go see the new Hell House. It's not really playing in my area, and I would go and check it out, but I can't go see it. So, which is a major bummer. But when that one eventually drops on Shudder, I will be covering it for sure. So Bobby goes to A tier. And this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm predicting right now this is going to be our first S tier. Eric Campbell, baby. A great character with the best death. Probably the best death of Final Destination Bloodlines, getting sucked through that MRI machine with the wheelchair poking through his stomach. That looked painful as fuck. I loved this kill. I think this is one of the few S tiers from Bloodlines. which I loved Bloodlines, but just not a whole lot of S tier kills. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like some of the movies before had better kills overall, but again, Bloodlines still my favorite Final Destination movie, which I don't know if that's a hot take or not. But Eric's, I think, is easily one of the best deaths from the entire franchise. Big fan of this one. Halloween and Horror 365 is saying hi Jake in chat. Ayo ayo. H&H 365. Love it, baby. 365 days of the year, we are talking about Halloween and horror here too, my friend. So I love that. You hope we get novels for Final Destination 4, 5, and 6. That would be awesome, Picky Piggy. We currently only have 1 through 3. Yeah, that is a bummer. Johanna K is saying Eric literally has the best death of the whole franchise. That's not a hot take even remotely. It's a very good death. It's very painful. It just seems very painful, very cartoonish, which I feel like is very just Final Destination at its core. I can't argue with that at all if that's your favorite. That's a great choice. Great choice. We have 1 A tier vote and 7 S tier votes. Man, this one might take the cake, baby. Wow. And again, if you are just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, top of the chat is the link to come on in here and vote. We currently have 26 participants, but you can come in and vote. If you're listening to us talk right now and you're like, this guy's full of shit, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, I got to get in there and vote. Eric Campbell's death fucking sucks. Well, come on in right now. Come on in and fuck up this bracket, baby. Let's make it happen. We got the new YouTuber saying, Jake, you are incredible. You're incredible. Thank you for being here, my friend. So much love. Paul Bradley is saying Eric's kill is 100% S tier. Hell yeah, dog. He was the MVP of the movie and the only character I wanted to survive. Rest were mid at best. Brutal. I liked Stephanie quite a bit. Eric, Stephanie, I liked Bobby too. I don't know. I kind of like the family thing made me like them a lot more. In comparison to characters from previous films, right? Like, oh my God, Hunt. I can't wait until we get to him. That fucking asshole. Geez, there's some rough characters on this list, ladies and gentlemen. But the characters in Bloodlines, I feel like, are easily the most likable. Maybe not the best Oscar award winning, kinds of characters, but I definitely like them the most from the entire franchise. Ross Loves Horror is saying, hi, Jake. Bobby's death is an A tier. I totally agree with that. I think Eric's death is my favorite death from Bloodlines. I was just saying that too. 100%. 100%. Do you know Iris dies in a similar manner to her premonition? Yes. Yeah, where she falls and the shit goes through her face and then it comes out the other end when she actually dies. We love that. We love that. But speaking of someone who also gets something fucked up with their head, Julia Campbell falling in the garbage truck and then getting decapitated, or just, I guess, cut in half, I guess, technically, right? Because she's getting her head cut in half and also losing an arm at the same time. So, like, I guess it's a little more than just a decapitation. Julia Campbell... this is B tier for me, though, unfortunately. I would go A if the effect didn't look so rough. But man, when her head gets crushed, it looks a little cartoonish. So this is going in B for me personally. I was not crazy about the visual effects on this one. But I have to say about Bloodlines visuals, the visual effects on this one, it's nowhere near as bad as some of the previous entries. Like 3 and 4 have some yikes visual effects. This is definitely better than that. Just still not like great, I feel. We still haven't reached like greatness with some of the visual effects in the series. The voting has started. You guys have 51 seconds currently to vote for Julia Campbell. Where is this one going to rank? It's going up to A tier. All right, Julia is moving up the ranks, going above Bobby and Charlie. Brutal here. Okay, all right. Some love for Julia. I love to see it. Very good stuff. I remember when I watched the first one when I was like 7, it scared me. I'm also so thankful for it because it's the first horror movie I watched that I can remember. That's awesome, dude. That's a real early one for you. I remember talking about this one at my little in elementary school and the teachers yelling at me, telling me not to talk about people dying. I remember being like, well, is there a way to escape it? I remember like only having knowledge of the original of the original film and not knowing if there was a way to escape it or not, So that was always fun to talk about. I can't believe I got in trouble for that. That's just so funny. I'm thinking back to that now. We're kind of a Jake breakdown on Bloodlines. You want a breakdown on Bloodlines? I've been kind of breaking down Bloodlines a lot in a bunch of different videos. I don't know if I made like one singular breakdown of everything I thought about it. I did do a review a little while back where I just ranted and raved about this movie, how much I loved it. It kind of reminds me of a death you would see in Happy Tree Friends. Julia's kill. You know what? I agree. That does feel very Happy Tree Friends to me. Isn't Bobby wearing a hoodie that kind of has something reminiscent of Happy Tree Friends? I kind of remember something along those lines. That was fun. We have Howard Campbell up next, the patriarch of the Campbell family here. This is a pretty damn good death. Lawnmower to the face, but also before that, we can't forget about this. Stepping on that shard of glass, that was brutal. Hard to watch. My God. You know that's got to hurt. Maybe not as bad as a lawnmower to the face, but glass in the foot, never a good time. A tier for me for this one. This one made me feel the pain, baby. Yikes. Liked it quite a bit. Very good kill. I wish we got like maybe a face review. Did we ever see his like sawn down face? I don't know if we ever get to see that or not. That could have pushed it to S tier for me. Lots of great blood, don't get me wrong, but I wish we kind of got like a little more gore with this one. Mr. Arrowverse is saying Howard's death, B tier, another cool kill for the movie that we never seen outside of the Rock kill from 4. Oh, with the lawnmower? Yeah, the Rock getting shot into the girl's face. That's cool, but this is better. Yeah, I think this is the better lawnmower kill. For sure. Lawnmower scene was crazy, says new YouTuber. I agree. The build up to Howard's death makes it S tier for me. That's a very good point, Johanna. You know, you might have just convinced me that it's S tier for that, because I think this might have the best build up of a singular kill in Bloodlines. Obviously, why it was featured in the trailer so much. That's a very good point. The racist guy is getting S tier for me later. Oh, Cryptic Haze, me too. Like, it's the satisfaction of finally seeing that butthole die that like just throws it up there for me. Erica was saying, "Wah, I'm sad. I'm missing the stream. I'm at work." That's no fun. I'm sorry, Erica. This is going to be a long one though. So maybe you'll be able to hang out with us a little later, I hope. But I'm so sorry. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it though. Even if you're at work, not really able to participate or nothing. Appreciate it a ton. We're up to 32 voters, by the way, which is pretty exciting. And we're only through a few of the new ones so far. Actually, are we through like most of the kills in the new one? Actually, we only have I think maybe a few more left. We haven't gotten to the premonition yet of Final Destination Bloodlines, so that's exciting. All right, Iris Campbell, ladies and gentlemen. This is one that I the first time I watched this movie really wasn't crazy about it. I didn't think the effect looked too great, but honestly, the kill itself, it has a lot of weight and value in the franchise overall. I like that she kind of sacrifices herself to essentially save the rest of the family. I thought that was kind of cool. So there's a little more weight to Iris's death. You know, she knew it was going to happen and kind of accepted her fate. There's something kind of cool about that to me. I've seen people, you know, complain about this. They're like, why would she do that? She knew it was going to happen. But it's like she was trying to save her family, you know? I get it. I'm all about it personally. So I like this one. The effect isn't great, but it doesn't go that low for me just because the effect sucks. I'm going to give it B tier. It's a very, very solid B tier in my opinion. Iris is an A tier, good kill. And you're also saying you see my ranking for Julia and what I thought of her. I might have missed that. I might have missed that one earlier on. But Julia's kill kind of sick, dude. It's fun. You said it was B tier. Not one we've seen from the other movies, but Julia is my least favorite character from Bloodlines. She was kind of annoying. I'll give you that. Literally saved no one, says Wes Carpenter, but she tried. She tried, Wes Carpenter. She gave it her best. She gave it the old college try, as the kids say. I don't think the kids haven't said that since like 1950, but she tried, damn it. You can't always beat death. Shit gets messy when you're trying to beat death, as we learned from this one. I don't know. I don't think William Bloodworth is on this list. Something I was just thinking about. Is he on here? I don't think I saw him. I guess technically we don't see a death for him. So I guess I think it's implied. I think it's one of those things where it's just like implied that he dies. I wouldn't want to rank that though. That would make me sad. There's nothing fun about ranking that death. That would just make me cry. But that's one that's not featured on the list that I was thinking about before we started the stream. The new YouTuber is saying the best part was when everyone was jumping on the glass and Iris was realizing everything. That was good suspense. In the premonition, yes. I think that's actually up next, if I'm not mistaken. Or let's see. I don't know what's going to give us next. Yes, Skyview Tower, baby. Ooh, this is a good one. I think this is, you know, when I got out of this film for the first time, I was like, the premonition was good. I don't know if it was my favorite. On second watch, this is one of the best premonitions. I think it's my second favorite premonition of the series, honestly. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening here, between like one of the best kills in the franchise. That elevator one is pretty fucking sick. The fire stunt is great if you want some practicals. There's a really impressive record-breaking fire stunt in this opening sequence. And just overall, the what it adds to the franchise in terms of Tony Todd's character and everything else. Skyview Tower, it's an S tier for me, baby. But I'm curious where everybody else ranks it. I think this is going to be an easy S tier, but I'm curious where it ranks. There we go. 4 votes, 1 for B, 4 for S. Love to see it. Erica's throwing a $5 super chat out there. Erica, thank you so much for your support. You are fantastic. Saying he only needs 10 super chats to get, and then he's going to do another Final Destination stream. Let's help him hit his goal. Yes, we will do more Final Destination streams, and even if I don't get the goal, it would be cool to get the goal, but even if we don't, I will be posting a Final Destination video next week, talking about what I want to see in the next premonition. I'm really excited for that one. But yes, thank you so much for kicking that off, Erica. I greatly appreciate the support of the page. And let's try to hit that goal before the hour is up. That would be pretty sick. Thank you so much again, Erica. Way to go, me. I see you celebrating yourself. That's awesome. You rock, Erica. Thank you so much for the support. Taft Studio is saying, hi, Jake. What's up, Taft? How's it going? S tier for the tower. Rock on, rock on. It has taken the top spot currently, sitting pretty right next to Eric Campbell. Very nice. 8 votes for S. We have 33 participants, and only 9 people are voting. What's up with this? What's going on? Y'all not seen Bloodlines yet? You got to see this one. It's on Max, I think, right now, so it's not too tough to go see. A little easier. It's not, you don't have to go out to the theater. You know, that's kind of tough. Not easy for everybody to do. I totally understand that. But you can watch it at home now, which is real exciting. Johanna K, thank you so much for the 5. Really appreciate that. You're saying been on the Seattle Space Needle twice. Oh God. Fuck, I'm terrified of heights. Fuck that. After Bloodlines, never again. Twice is good enough. Once is good enough, honestly. That's really funny. Oh my God. Okay, Johanna, I have a question for you. Do they have glass floors? That would be the no for me. That would be like, nope, not doing it. I couldn't do it. If it was just like glass walls, I could maybe do that. Glass floors that high up, no freaking way, dude. I remember I was in Las Vegas. My older brother used to live there, so we vacationed out there long time ago when I was in high school. And I visited him. They also have like a needle out there, and you can jump off of it. Like you can like hook yourself into a harness and jump off of it and come very goddamn close to the concrete, and then it shoots you back up. I said, you will not get me on there. There's nothing you could give me $1 million. I wouldn't do it. It's not happening. No way, dude. That's crazy. But Johanna, thank you so much for the 5. I really appreciate it. Let us know about those glass floors. I'm so curious. So curious. Nathan Sears crushed by the landing gear. It says landing gear. Oh wait, yes, yeah, landing gear. This is the one. This is the guy at the bar in 5. Okay, I'm remembering now. I'm like, hang on now. What's happening with him? He kind of gets killed in like it's kind of a post-credit scene if I'm not mistaken. In 5, this one's kind of just like, I guess let's have another kill. It's not like the twist kill that is so heart-wrenching, and we'll get to that, I'm sure, in a second here. But this one, yeah, it's okay. It's like, I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B tier for this one. Whatever. Like, I'm glad we got another kill in 5. You know, I'll take it. But it's my least favorite kill from our epic twist ending in part 5. Universal Games is saying C for Nathan. It was just ironic. Yeah, it was just like, let's just throw that in there. You know, sure, I guess. That's fun. That's a fun little twist. I gotta mute again. I will be lurking in the background while I work, says Erica. That's all good. Hey, we just appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Erica. Hope everything's going good at work. New YouTuber is saying, imagine someone that has always been scared of glass and heights. Oh, yeah, that's me. That's me, fella. Oh, dear God. Johanna saying, yes, sir, glass floors my dumbass jumped on. No. Oh, I couldn't do it. I'd literally just start crying. I'd be like, nope, I'm out. Get me to the bottom of this thing now. Fuck that. You're braver than I, Johanna. I love it. Thank you for the $2, my friend. I really appreciate it. That is brutal. Ugh. After watching this movie, fuck that. No way. Braver than I. Holier than thou and all that. Nathan Sears, though, Yeah, pretty whatever kill. I'm like, if it goes to C tier, whatever. We only have 10 people voting and 33 participants. What's up with that? Crazy. You know, you can participate in this stream if you click on the link at the top of the chat. Just saying, 38 people here. Not a whole lot of voting. Sam Luton, we're just going to get through this one because it's all kind of the same, I feel. The voting has started. This is the twist ending. This is the kill that I really love. Hot take S tier. This is one of the only kills in all of Final Destination that just is one of the biggest bummers. Just one of the like, no, what? It's less about the actual brutality of it. Like I feel like most of these are. This one's more about the no fucking way, dude. What? This twist. It hit me like a fucking train. Like a train. Or maybe like a log to the face, I feel like is a better way to talk about it in regards to this franchise. This is the one that just, he's so sad as that plane is going into the air. He's like, no. I love it. It's great. My acting's terrible, but Sam did it a little better. It looks like it's going to A tier. 5 votes for A, 2 for S, 1 for B, 1 for C. Fair enough. It's not the most gross, outrageous kill. I could see putting this one in A. That's totally fair to me. But I just like, for me, it's up there because of that twist, baby. This one's awesome. I also think, you know what? There's also an argument to say that Molly's death is maybe even better. Justin Proper just joined in. Ayo. Welcome in. Make sure to vote, my friend. Vote on these silly polls. They're silly, all right. You meant to put S tier, but the ending was such a good twist. It was Universal Games, I agree. Paul says, I'd vote, but I'm old and stupid when I click the link. I lose the stream. You're all good. No. No worries, my friend. No worries. We're going to roll through this one, too. I mean, same thing about Molly. Probably the best kill in the twist. I'm going S with this one. She gets bisected through the waist by the wing, which is kind of sick. So I think this is the best kill, but just that shot of Sam on fire screaming at the end is just the most like mean-spirited way to end one of these. That was just so brutal, man. Molly and Sam's death are some of the most tragic I feel in the whole franchise. So that's why I put them so far up there. Cinepixel is saying that Sam was the only protagonist I felt sorry for after Iris. Very nice. I mean, I kind of agree, if I'm being honest. Our main characters from 2 like make it out alive, so it's like rock on. That's triumphant. But 3, maybe Wendy from 3. I feel kind of bad for. That death was pretty brutal, pretty upsetting. Picky Piggy is saying S tier for Sam's death. Rock on. Sam's death is similar to Alex's death in The Premonition. Yeah, okay. I can see putting that one below because we've kind of already seen that one. Okay, fair enough. I think because we hadn't actually really seen one of those deaths. We just saw it in A Premonition. Maybe it holds a little more weight for me, but I don't know. That Sam Luton death is fucking brutal. Arrowverse is saying Molly is an A tier, one of my least favorite characters from Final Destination 5. Brutal. Well, she has made it to the bottom of S tier, which I think is interesting. Wow, okay. So Molly, Eric, and the Skyview Tower, only things to make it to S so far. Very, very cool. Samantha Robinson has been a member for a month. Samantha, I greatly appreciate your support. Thank you. I still find it ironic that Final Destination has never done a natural disaster opening. Well, we'll talk a little bit about that in a new video coming soon. It is wild that we haven't done that yet. All man-made disasters. What could we do to, kind of shift the focus to natural disaster? I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a brand new Final Destination 7 video coming very soon. But that is absolutely something on my mind. You guys have sent me a ton of messages about this. It's almost been like, it's been basically super highly requested that we talk about natural disasters in this franchise. So I'm working on a big video for this one. I want it to be something special for you guys. So we're moving on that very soon here. Should be my first video of the week. I'm excited to get into it. Rooney Day is saying Perry's death in Final Destination 3 is C tier. We'll be talking about it. Just you wait. Peter Friedkin opening up the voting for this one. Impaled through the spine with a meat spit. Whatever. Guy's kind of a dick. He looks like Tom Cruise. C tier. It's not the best death on this list by far. Majority of folks seem to be voting for C as well. We got 3 votes for C, 1 S tier, interestingly enough, and 1 D tier. Who said S tier? I'm just curious. I'm curious. Give me the argument there. I'm just curious what the take is on that. It's interesting. Night Owls is saying ship is the only mode of transportation they haven't done. Ooh, that's a good point. We got do something on the water, right? That could be fun. Maybe a tsunami in the middle of the ocean or something. It could be crazy. David Primero is saying Final Destination 3 for me is the best. Wendy is the best. Thank you for the $2, David. I appreciate that. Wendy is a great character. I feel Final Destination 3 is like criminally underrated. It's the one from the franchise that I feel personally set the franchise back on track, where Final Destination 2, there's so many like peaks of this film, but also valleys of it. I don't like what it does to the lore, saying it all has to be connected to the events of the original. I never really liked that about 2, but 3 kind of makes it all about just like a random occurrence again, which like what Final Destination 3 did for the franchise is giving it a reason to go on forever. Like Final Destination 3, easily one of the most important sequels from the bunch. And also you have some iconic moments. You gotta love that roller coaster death to start that one off. It's iconic, made me run out of the goddamn living room whenever that trailer played when I was a little kid. It was awesome. I love Final Destination 3, man. Wendy's a great character too. Definitely one of the best protagonists in the whole franchise for sure, David. Dude, thank you for the 2 again. Really appreciate it. All right, Dennis Lapman, you gotta love Champ Kind being in a Final Destination movie. That's always crazy. He's impaled through the face with a wrench. It's a little bit of a silly practical, but it's a practical, man. I'm going to give this one an A tier for the practical effect. Again, a rare occurrence here in Final Destination. It is usually just VFX, whatever. And I'm sure the wrench flying through the air is VFX. But getting that practical shot of him on the ground with the thing through his face, that puts it all the way up to A. Like just barely scratching the A button. And this would... Any other situation, this probably would be a B tier kill for me. But I'm going to give it A because I thought that was pretty cool. Where's everyone else putting it, though? This one's a little more middling. We got 3 for A, 1 for B, 2 for C. Interesting. Taft is saying C for Dennis. I mean, that's fair. It's a little more of a simple kill. Nothing too crazy. Candace's death in FD5 is an S tier. Oh, we're getting to that one, don't you? That's my I think that might be my favorite in all of Final Destination 5. Matsy434, ayo. I feel Final Destination 3 also hits more of an emotional level than any of the others. I agree. I totally agree with you there. I definitely care more about Wendy and some more of her like friends and family and all that than some of the other folks in this one. A lot of hateable characters in 1 and 2, I'll say, and then you get into 3 and it's like, okay, I care about these folks maybe a little more. Night Owls has just become a Ghostface member. Night Owls, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. Is that a Late Night with the Devil reference? I don't know, but I like it. Thank you so much for being a part of the membership program. We greatly appreciate it, my dude. Also, what's really fun about being a member is you get an extra weekly video. This week, we're talking about Jimmy and Stiggs. We talked about Fantastic Four the week before that. And the week before that, we talked about Superman. And it's only going to get crazier as we go forward. You never know what we're getting into. If it's something outside the horror genre, or if it's like an indie release that I know maybe not as many folks that flock to this page would be interested in. But I still wanted to talk about Jimmy and Stiggs. Lots to break down and get into with that film. So Night Owls, thank you again for being a member. I greatly appreciate the support. Jab is with us saying, love roller coasters. Hell yeah, dog. I'm terrified of roller coasters after that 3rd movie, but I still get on them. What can I say? Dennis should have watched Dodgeball. That's really funny. Oh my God, I love that. Roy Carson, however, impaled through the chin and head with the lifting hook. You get a really cool shot of that hook in his underneath his chin like that. It's kind of sick, but B tier. It's solid. Whatever. Not great, not terrible. Middle of the road. Not bad. For me personally. This one's a little more all over the place. We got a C, we got a B, we got an S for votes. The voting is open, ladies and gentlemen. 75 seconds. Throw that in. Let's see where this is going. Mr. Arrowverse is saying Roy is an A tier. Great kill. Hell yeah. Okay. It is brutal. This is another one that's got a pretty good practical, though, I will say. The wrench kind of comes... I like the surprise of the wrench, though, maybe a little more, I will say. I will always watch your non-horror videos. I appreciate all movies. I do too, Fort Misery Gaming, and I've been trying to find a way to talk about more stuff on here. So that's kind of been my way to do it, the membership program talk, because and you guys clearly do too. So it's been nice to talk about I would have people come into the chat and be like, Jake, what did you think of Superman? You know, like, I'm kind of curious on your thoughts on that. And I'm like, you know what? Here's my avenue to do that, right? So thank you guys. Members basically allow me to talk about all the crazy shit I'm interested in, not just horror. So I really appreciate you guys for that. Really does mean a lot. Justin, thank you for the 5, man. Really appreciate that too. Saying if Final Destination ties in a natural disaster, it could parallel too close to a real life disaster, and that's why they haven't done it yet. Thoughts? I think you are definitely right about that, but I feel like they could do it in a Final Destination-y way, where it's like goofy and over the top and silly still. But maybe have a little commentary there. That's kind of something I want to bring up in the video that I'm making right now. Is like you could have a little bit of like an environmental commentary thing, which is something that's been super common in movies, TV shows that will do something similar to that. I mean, go all the way back to like the 50s, 60s, 70s. You have a ton of movies that have natural disaster vibes to them, or something about the environment coming back and attacking people, going all the way back to like Night of the Triffids or some bullshit like that, you know? Frogs, yeah, that movie. Oh my god, there's so many old movies that have like an ecological disaster vibe to it, about the environment striking back against human beings. And I think you could kind of do that with Final Destination in a way that is still very fun, but also adds a little new level of commentary to flavor Final Destination 7 in a new way. Now, all of this is speculation, of course, but I think it's interesting, right? We don't want the same movie over and over again. I think that's what made Final Destination Bloodlines so special. So I think that could be the way to do it, because I totally agree. You don't want to do something that feels too close to real life, like a hurricane just going through a city. Obviously, that's something affecting us right now. Actually, a tsunami as well. We just had a pretty bad tsunami, which is rough. So I totally agree. You would have to find a way to do it in like a fun Final Destination-y way that keeps it fictitious, but I think it's doable. I think it is absolutely doable, and still a way for this franchise to find a way to do something new in a new entry. But dude, thank you for the 5. That's a great question. It's a really great thought about that as well. I'm gonna have to bring that up. I see your comment, Justin. I don't think it would be preachy. I think it would just be like a good, like a subtle thing, like an undertone, just an undertone of environmental disasters and shit, which obviously is a big thing right now. Olivia Castle's death, however, fell from really? That's how they describe her death? Fell from a building? Oh, come on now. Okay, Olivia Castle is the girl who gets the fucking laser in the eye. That's the cool part of it, not the falling from the building. Psh. Who made this list? Okay, no, Olivia Castle, S tier, easy. Easy S tier. Voting has just begun, my friends. Go ahead and vote. This is one of my favorite deaths from 5. Not my absolute favorite. We're getting to that one, but this is number 2, and it still is a gold medal receiver in my opinion, because goddamn, this is a brutal kill. This is a top 10 from the whole franchise, in my opinion. I love Olivia Castle's death. It is so hard to watch. If you're someone like me who wears glasses, wears spectacles on their goddamn face because they're too blind to do anything else, I have been terrified of LASIX. I couldn't do it if I tried. And this is why. It's because of this movie. The idea of getting lasers shot into my eye sounds awful and terrifying. I'd rather just wear these things on my face than go blind. You know, the chance of that sounds crazy. But I will say, I think it would be interesting if it's interesting how they approach this one based on a common fear of something along those lines. And that's, again, just something that I feel Final Destination does very well, is finding a way to take real life things and find the fear in them. You know, things that like, oh, this could happen, you know, and then it does happen. And that's the scary part of something like Olivia's death, something like the Skyview Tower going all the way up to the top of a tall tower and then shit goes wrong. It's brutal. Brutal. So I love that. Olivia's death, it's an S tier for me. It seems like it's just narrowly getting S tier as well. Got 5 votes for that. Very nice. Very nice. David Primero throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much, my dude. Saying next movie should be Battle of the Survivors. You know, I kind of want to see that again, that we kind of got in 5, right towards the end, where everyone realized, oh, we can steal each other's lifespans. I wouldn't mind seeing a little, maybe not rehash. That's not the right word, right? But I would love to go back to the idea of characters killing each other, stealing their lifespan. You know what I mean? That sounds like a lot of fun to me. Would love a new play on that if we could make that happen for sure, David. Something that's reminiscent of 5, but again, still finds its own way to do that. That could be fun. But dude, thank you for the $2. Appreciate your support, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Battle of the Survivors. Let's see what happens. We had somebody pitch a really cool idea about a serial killer who was like affected by a Final Destination like premonition, and they've just been like killing people for like decades, and they've just been alive for like all this time. They have like an infinite amount of time. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. That's a cool idea for something. So maybe they could play on that with 7. That could be fun. But again, thank you for the 2. Appreciate it. Motzi said, I voted B because I thought her death was a premonition. Oh, Olivia's death? I thought of her death in the premonition. I don't even remember what her death was in the premonition. That's how little I remember it. Johanna's throwing $2 out there saying my contacts are good enough for me. Yes. Yeah, I'll wear contacts. Nothing wrong with that. Glasses, contacts, that's good. Just no lasers burning through my eye, please. That sucks balls. Johanna, I love that. That's hilarious. Thank you for the 2. We appreciate it a ton. Isaac Palmer, this creepy ass fucking asshole. This death is pretty brutal to me. This was one that was featured in the trailers. We're again all over the place with this one, which is interesting. I'm gonna go A tier with it personally. It doesn't quite reach S. In my humble opinion, but it is pretty brutal. Has a few moments that I think are awesome. Then he gets the acupuncture needles in like his chest and then falls over onto the ground and gets them pushed into him. And that alone pushes it up to A tier. The death just being like a Buddha thing that falls off a shelf or whatever and crushes his head. It's a whatever way to end that scene, I feel. But that one moment is pretty freaking awesome. So Isaac's kill, it's an A tier for me. Final Destination 5, I feel, just has some of the best kills in this whole franchise. Like that's my Final Destination 5. That's my favorite for like consistency with the kills. Like almost everything in 5 is pretty damn good. The car fell on her in the premonition. I forgot about that, Mr. Arrowverse. Honestly, it's been so long. I feel like the premonition in 5 is kind of weak. Like, honestly, that's the weakest part of 5. The actual kills themselves is where this movie shines. But a lot of the bridge kills are kind of like whatever. I feel like kind of the worst part of it. Start the humble opinion counter. I'm sorry, I've been saying that a lot. I get into a repetition of that sometimes. I have to remind everybody, it's just an opinion, bro, you know? Olivia was crushed by a car after falling off the bridge. Yeah. Brutal. Well, Candace, though, however, in my humble opinion, Wes Carpenter flicks. This is my favorite one from 5, though. Major S tier. She's the gymnast who is swinging on that rope, maybe a little too long, and slips, and her entire back breaks. I saw this at my girlfriend's house, like long when I was a kid, basically. And I just remember this like actually scared the fuck out of me the first time I watched this movie. So good, so good. Killer kill. My favorite of the film. That back break. I mean, it's just so sudden. Like you see it you see it happening before it happens kind of thing, but you don't think it's going to happen like that. There's so many, like there's a nail on the board. You think she's going to step on that and fall and break her neck or something, right? But her getting off of that and then doing the swings and then just her back snapping. This is one of my favorite kills in the whole franchise. I love it. Wes Carpenter saying we're at 3 now. Brutal, dude. Brutal. Justin Proper saying F tier. Not crazy about this one. Why don't you? Is it the effect that you don't like? Because that's probably my one negative towards it. It's got like a whatever effect, but it's so quick. I don't even mind. Like it's such a quick it doesn't totally rely on that. Relies on the setup and the shock. I feel that I can vibe with it a little more. Some of these kills rely on the actual, like, how it looks, the gore, the effect. This one's just more about the holy fuck, I can't believe that happened, which is why I put it up that high. That's how my back feels every day. I totally agree. I wake up every morning and I'm just Candace Hooper in my back. That's that back break was painful. I agree. Wes Carpenter flicks. I already read that. I covered my eyes whenever Candace death comes. You can't even watch it. It's just too much. It's brutal. I mean, it hits you like a truck. Hits you like a log to the face. North Bay Bridge collapse. This is one of my least favorite premonitions. And I hate to say it because 5 is one of my favorite movies from this whole series. It's okay. It's all right. The effects are real bad. You want to talk about some bad effects? Ugh, yikes. I'm giving it a B tier. Middle of the road for me. This is a second least favorite premonition in the whole franchise, and I think that's I don't know, maybe I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but bridge collapse in terms of concept, very cool. Execution is just, it's all right. It's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. I'm just kind of in the middle of the road with the North Bay Bridge collapse personally. Fort Misery Gaming is saying Jake is Toxic Avenger, a movie that was released in 2023, finally coming to theaters. I'm confused. Saw something on Rotten Tomatoes about it. So it premiered at film festivals in 2023, but its original distributor decided, oh, we're not gonna do anything with this. We're gonna let it rot on a shelf somewhere. And then Cineverse picked it up and are releasing it this year, essentially. And Cineverse is the same company that just put out like Terrifier 3, the upcoming Silent Night, Deadly Night, and all these unrated movies that are like that we could actually release unrated. But that's why they didn't want to release it. It's just too brutal of a film. And they thought they weren't going to make any money on it. But Bloody Disgusting and Cineverse are just going nuts advertising this flick. And I really hope that it does some numbers when it hits theaters here next week, if I'm not mistaken. So this is one I'm not going to miss for the world. I haven't really been covering it because there's just not a whole lot. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of hype here on YouTube, which is a bummer. But on other platforms, it does seem like a lot of people really enjoy this one, which is cool. So North Bay Bridge just barely didn't make it to S tier, by the way. It got a few S tier votes. That would have been a big upset in my opinion. That's cool. But makes it to B. Nick O'Bannon head bashed into wall. This is a bad kill. Like straight up, this is the kill that we don't even see on screen. It's like a cartoon animation at the end of the Final Destination. Yeah, fuck that. This is like our first like easy D tier in my opinion. Like we don't even see it on screen. It's just an animation. Fuck this kill. 0 out of 10. Universal is saying Nick D. We didn't even see it. I know. Picky Piggy, how am I today? I'm fantastic, dude. Fantastic. Justin Proper is saying I saw it in theaters, and as someone who's taken multiple gymnastic lessons, I was taken aback. So yeah, Candace is a giant S tier, no questions asked. Oh, I thought you said F tier. I could have sworn that I saw you say F tier. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. North Bay S. It's freaking cool. It is pretty cool. I will say that it's cool. I just wish I liked it a little more than the tar. The one kill about that opening though that I really like is the tar on Whammy on Whammy's face. That's my favorite. Infinite Sky is saying D for Nick. Taft is saying C for Nick. We're moving up with Nick a little bit. Here we go. 6 votes for D tier for Nick. I mean, we don't see it, you know? I feel like not even seeing it. That is a worthy D tier. That is a worthy worst of. Final Destination disaster ranking. You would rank it 1, the Skyview, 2, Flight 180, North Bay Bridge, Route 23, McKinley Speedway, and then Devil's Flight. Devil's Flight at the bottom. Brutal. I really like that one. But yeah, Nick O'Bannon, that's just scraping the bottom of the barrel right there. Not crazy about that one. There's an anniversary screening for Jaws. Is that this week? That's exciting. Or Labor Day weekend. Highly recommend if you're into anniversary screenings. You know, I actually got to see it 5 years ago. I know it's the 50-year anniversary, but I believe, or was it 5 years ago? I want to say it was like when I was in college, and that wasn't even 5 years ago. I saw a screening of it kind of recently. In theaters, and that was one that I crossed off my list. I needed to see that one in theaters. I was really happy. I want to say it was post-pandemic that I saw that one, and that wasn't 5 years ago. I want to say it was like 2021 or 2022 that I saw it in theaters for a re-release. But I have seen Jaws on the big screen. That was like a must. Had to see that one in theaters for sure. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but Laurie, another D tier. This is one we don't see on screen again. Nick, Laurie, and there's one other character who are all just off-screen kills during a very dumb animation at the end of the Final Destination. It's just such a letdown, man. It's like, ugh. Well, where's the fun in that? I don't care about seeing skeleton animations bonking against the ground. Fuck that. Laurie D, same reason. Yeah, not much to talk about here. Just garbage. Bottom of the barrel kills here. Michael is saying Nick's death wasn't that good. No. Apparently they ran out of money for the ending of Final Destination 4. I'd believe it, honestly. Where did that money go, though? Like, where did they even... I couldn't even tell you where they spent that. Crazy. People should stop showing sharks as scary and dangerous. People should be afraid of dolphins. Hang on. This is a can of worms right here. Why should we be afraid of dolphins and not sharks? Hit me with that. I've seen like little kids playing with dolphins before. I need to know what's going on. What are the dolphins like getting together? And I know they're really smart. Have they decided finally to start attacking people? What's going on with that? I have questions now. What are the dolphins? What are they planning right now? L tier for Lori. That's really funny, Taft. Major L's. L's in the chat for Lori. Come on. Take it down. Go to D tier already. Bam. All right, guys, watch this one. Janet, D tier. Also sucks. Another animation one. God, this is the most boring part of the stream so far. What's going on? we're gonna have to eat our vegetables here with the Final Destination. That's how I feel. This is just like gotta struggle through this movie to get to the cool ones. Justin is saying, I've swam with dolphins. They're nice. Sharks are also nice as long as you don't look like a sea lion. Well, see, that's my problem, Justin. I look very much so like a sea lion in the water. If I was totally naked in the ocean, sharks would be like, oh, look at that. Look at that tasty sea lion. And that's the problem. Dolphins can violate you. What? What are the okay, what do I not know about dolphins, man? This is taken over I don't even care about Final Destination anymore. What the fuck are the dolphins doing? Dolphins roam in pods and actually attack people. A diver escaped with 3 spine fractures after encountering a dolphin and rib broken. What? I swear to God, I've seen like cute little videos on TikTok where it's like, look at my kid with the dolphin. It's so sweet. They got little beach balls on their nose. It's all an act. I never knew this. Okay. We need dolphin horror movies then. This is what we need. This is what needs to happen. Someone call up Jason Blum. Actually, never mind. Scratch that. Someone call up anybody else. Let's. Why would I be swimming naked, Jake? Don't worry about it, Justin. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. Anyways. George, we love George. This one's a B tier just because George rocks. This kill, it's literally just a repeat of what's her face from the first movie. Her name I totally forgot. But George's kill, I only put it up so high because I like George quite a bit as a character. So this is the only one I actually the only character I cared about in the entire film. George. So George's death carries a little bit of weight for me personally. Ever tried skinny dipping? Again, don't worry about it. Anyways, Mr. Arrowverse is saying the monkey for Final Destination 4, the money for Final Destination 4 went to the awful script and awful editing and awful CGI. Well, thank God someone paid for that, because that was awful. C for George, bad CGI. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, if you want to put this in C, I'm not going to argue with that. I just like George. He's a good dude, and I just love that. He has one of the funniest lines in the entire Final Destination franchise, which I can't say here on YouTube, but if you know, you know. It makes me laugh every time I hear it. Oda Vibe is saying the more intelligent a species is, the more dangerous it is. Okay. I mean, I can't disagree with that. That's interesting. I need a dolphin horror movie. Like, I kind of want to see a bunch of dolphins like ganging up and killing somebody. That could be brutal. Like, it would be less of like shark horror where it's just like they're biting you in half or something. It's like, no, it's almost like raptors in Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna have a smart way of taking you out. That's kind of interesting. The best zombie film, new YouTuber, easy answer. Zombie 1979. It's the best one. Fight me. I love George Romero, man, but Lucio Fulci, baby. Ooh, love it. Great movie, great soundtrack, great effects. Everything's great about that movie. Speaking of sharks, a zombie fights a fucking shark in that movie. Do that, George Romero. I'm just kidding. I love George. No, literally no shade thrown his way. I'm just being silly. Anyways, Taggart Theaters, let the voting begin. This is actually probably my favorite part of the entire fourth film. I want to give this an A tier, but that just feels wrong. That feels risky and naughty. I don't know if I can go all the way up there. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to be naughty. Going up to A tier with Taggart Theaters. Dude, when she gets her leg caught in that gear on the escalator, like literally this scene right here, that's so vicious. Oh, man, that would suck. Like, that would suck so much balls. So, like, A tier, but I don't want to put it in A tier. You know, that's kind of how I feel. Just because it's a part of that movie, I don't want to put it up there. I hope it goes to B tier, but I voted A. You know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Justin Proper is like, I love how there's no Zombie 2. Yeah, there's no Zombie 2. There's definitely not a film called Zombie 3 that is the sequel to Zombie. Don't worry about it. It doesn't exist. We love George Romero. Yes, no, he's awesome. I'm totally just kidding. I honestly, if there's a second favorite zombie movie, it's his Dawn of the Dead, which is technically Zombie 1979 is technically the sequel to Dawn of the Dead. Interestingly enough. Cinepixel is saying we're still talking about dolphins. They'll throw you like a volleyball. That's how dangerous dolphins are. Could they? Okay, do they have the strength to throw a human being? Like, I'm 210 pounds. Like, I'm a tall fucking guy. Like, could they throw me like a volleyball? I don't know. I have my doubts about that. Jonathan Groves, yeah. Kind of C. You know what? C tier, because they stole this kill from one of the books. This bathtub kill. Jonathan gets a hospital bathtub from the floor above him, just falls on top of him and crushes him. So they totally stole this from one of the original novels that came out like a couple years prior to The Final Destination. So learning that about this film, it's just like, kind of lowers this one for me. So I'm going C tier. Could have been better. Could have had a better idea for Jonathan's death, I feel. A dolphin horror movie starring Jack Black and Ben Stiller. Taft, you ruined it. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. You know what? Jack Black with dreadlocks. That's what specifically his character from I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, fighting a bunch of dolphins. That's the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer that I want more than anything. You've only ever seen Night of the Living Dead? Dude, Dawn and Day, in my opinion, are better, which might be, I don't know, maybe, is that a hot take? Potentially. But Night of the Living Dead, it's like a little goofy. You know, it's aged a little bit. It's a little bit of a goofy film. But Dawn and Day are like actually fucking fantastic, dude. Oh my God, love those movies. Day is campy, not goofy. You know what I mean? Like it's campy, which I like. I like the camp. 6'3". I'm 6'2". I wish I could say I was 6'3". I jokingly say I'm 6'3" to my fiance, and then she gets the measuring tape out, and then I get real sad. Hunt's deaths it's pretty good actually. I like that he gets disemboweled, and it's pretty satisfying. I gotta say, Hunt getting killed in the way that he does, it's a pretty satisfying. I'm going A tier with this one. I don't think I can go S tier. This guy sucks too bad. I don't want to put him up that high. He doesn't deserve it. He's like that alpha male mentality. Like, he would be listening to Andrew Tate if he was alive in 2025, which he's not. But Hunt deserves to be a tier lower for that reason, to get a little bit of beta energy, make him feel bad. No, I'm kidding. I am 5'9", your average height. Nothing wrong with that. Mr. Arrowverse is saying, I've seen all of the Night of the Living Dead movies from Night to Survive. Oh God. Diary and Survival of the Dead are yikes, man. But Land of the Dead, not bad. That one's fun. Do I like the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies? Yes. They're my guilty pleasure films. Like, if I'm just like, I want to turn my brain off and watch some stupid zombie action, I put those bad boys on. I own all 6 of them. And then I even own the other Resident Evil movie that came out a few years ago. Another guilty pleasure for me. It's not good, but I love it. Oh, the Resident Evil movies, man. Love them so much. I can't wait to see what Zach Krager does with Resident Evil. He's probably going to make the best Resident Evil film coming out next year. Let's be honest. But I can't. But you know what? I'll always have a soft spot for those Paul W.S. Anderson films. What can I say? Half of the Final Destination actors are 5'10" to 6'2". So I'm taller than half of Final Destination. That's interesting. A for Hunt. Wish for the Dolphins to be. You want the Dolphins to be in it? That's funny. Andy gets cut through an impossible fence. Like, this is a C tier for me. That fence would never exist. First and foremost, it's like a, what is it? Like a 3-inch thick fence that he gets pushed through. There's no way a fence like that would exist anywhere. It would be a chain link fence in any part of America like that. Come on now. Come up with a better idea for a kill. It's also kind of goofy looking. He's got like little meat chunks poking out of the fence when he gets pushed through it. Andy's death, whatever. Not really crazy about this one. At least it's gory. I'll give it that. That's why it doesn't go to D tier for me. At least it's got some gore and some blood, but it was just a kind of a dumb one. Yeah, unrealistic. I agree. It was brutal but unrealistic. Night Owls is saying you can't beat Mila Jovovich. I do agree with that though. She's great. She is really well cast in those films. She makes those movies really fun. Too many Living Dead movies to watch. That's why I haven't bothered with Star Trek. Oh, but there's so many good Star Trek movies though too, dude. Like even beyond the original 6 movies, there's some really good ones in there. I really like the Picard movie. The Picard movies are actually pretty good, dude. A lot of people shit on those too, but I like those. There's one with the Borg that fucking rocks. Ooh, I'm a big Star Trek guy. I don't know if I ever talk about that on this page because it's not really horror, but ooh, really like those. This is the other lawnmower kill. Samantha gets the stone blasted into her face. You know what? I don't know. Hot take, maybe. This is a B tier for me. I kind of like the setup of this one. The kids being real annoying. There's a little bit of misdirection here. You don't really you're not really 100% where it's going to go. And that's why I'm a little more apologetic towards this one. I'm being a little too nice for this one. But ultimately, it's not one of the best. It's middle of the road for me. Yeah, Star Trek Nemesis is pretty good. Yeah. I think if you ever seen you've seen like Wrath of Khan though, like you've seen like the classics from Star Trek, like 2, 3, and 4. I think you have to watch. Like 2, 3, and 4 are great in my opinion. 5 is a skip and 6 is kind of weird, but like I kind of vibe with 6. I kind of like from the original 6 movies. 1 is, but you can skip 1. 1 is just like they took an episode of the show and elongated it to 90 minutes, and it's so slow. Like it is painfully slow movie. I'd rather watch 5. Maybe a hot take about Star Trek, but Mila Jovovich is the Sidney Prescott of Resident Evil. That's so funny. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, maybe, maybe David. I can't even disagree with that. That's so funny, dude. Samantha's going all the way to D tier. That's pretty brutal, dude. Damn. I mean, you know what? Fair enough. It's not a great kill. Carter, I'm going to be real. This guy fucking sucks. He's a racist piece of shit. He's going in S tier because he has one of the most satisfying deaths for a character ever. Like there's nobody in this franchise I want to see more than this piece of shit. So I liked seeing him get fucking destroyed in the way that he did. This is one of the better things that Final Destination 4 actually does is crap on such a shitty character. So that's kind of cool to me. Jess is back. Had to get the kids from school. I appreciate you hanging out with us, Jess, even though we're talking about something you have literally no interest in. It means a lot to me. Thanks for hanging out with us. Means a ton. Paul is saying Mila could beat me and I'd say thank you. You know, I probably would too. I can't argue with that. A or S for Carter. It was deserved, majorly deserved. I like 4 and 5. I like Mila Jovovich's suit. Oh yeah, in some of the later Resident Evil movies, I totally agree. 5 is the one where they're in like the simulation with what's her face from the first movie? I always forget her name. Dom Toretto's sister. No, that's not Dom Toretto. No, Dom Toretto's like wife or whatever. Letty. I can't remember. What is the actress's name? I can't remember. Michelle Rodriguez. Oh, there it is. See? Little wrinkle happened in this brain up here. Bam, baby. Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez it comes back for the 5th one. I forgot about that. Carter all over the place with this character. I understand though, this is a piece of shit. I could see wanting to throw him a little lower. But S tier for the satisfaction for sure. Crushed by a falling wheel. Nadia's kill, I don't know, man. Like I'm going C just because it's whatever. It's a shitty wheel coming out of the stadium, flies over and hits her in the face. It's the way to end the crappiest premonition of the entire franchise. I don't know. I just don't love it. It's like this is the pus covered maraschino cherry on top of a shit sundae. Is kind of how I feel about it. So it's like no real love, no real nothing for this kill. I don't even really feel like it's a big surprise either. Like you kind of know she's gonna die. Not much love here. Anyone wonder if a VR headset death could work for Final Destination? Ooh, have you ever seen VHS 85? That's got a really good VR headset death. That's funny. I just thought about that. Justin Proper saying, I discovered Star Wars first and I could never get into Star Trek. You know, I'm like, I hate to be that fucking guy, but I'm the total opposite. Like, I appreciate Star Wars, but Star Trek to me, I like so much more. I don't know. I think maybe I'm just a little more invested in the philosophical side to Star Trek, which I think is cool. Star Wars is just a little more it's a little more of just a popcorn flick to me, you know. That's I guess that's why I just don't hold it up to that same standard. It's fun and I understand the cultural influence, but I feel like there hasn't been a ton of great Star Wars lately, where Star Trek, I feel like there's just generations and generations of good stuff. McKinley Speedway. This is the D tier, hot take. This is the worst premonition. Not a whole lot of love for this one. I just, the effects are so bad, dude. Like, a cool idea, set it at a raceway. Okay, that's a good idea. Like, I'll give them that. That's my one positive about this. Like, I think there is anxiety about going to a raceway. The idea of a crash happening and the cars driving up into the stands. Okay, you know, understand where they came from with this one, but the execution is just so awful. Not crazy. Not crazy about it. Infinite Sky, you've never seen VHS 85. I recommend it. It's got a pretty good, there's a good VR headset kill in that movie. And I don't want to even tell you about it. Just go watch it. See what I'm talking about. 404 is hanging out with us. What's up, dude? You know, for whatever reason, I still can't see your name, but I see your profile picture, so I know it's you. Last night on stream, I know you popped in and I'm just like, a square is hanging out with us. What's up? I have the square again. I don't know why, but I saw you comment on the stream last night, and I really appreciate you stopping by and supporting the gaming channel last night. Really does mean a lot, dude. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Thanks for being with us, dude. Thank you, thank you. Infinite Sky VHS 85 is on Shudder. Give it a watch. It's a real fun one. I believe that's the 2023 release for that franchise. They've been releasing movies since 2021, every single year, including this one. VHS Halloween drops on October 3rd. Real hyped. Real hyped, baby. What's going on here? Yeah, it is on Shudder. Yeah. Wendy Christensen, an upsetting death, but an off-screen one at that. Great character. Death overall, though, not great in my opinion. I'm going B tier. I like the character, but it's an off-screen death, you know? Some of us aren't even 100% sure that she died, interestingly enough. So it's like, you know, I mean, if your kill's that, like, and that much off-screen, I don't know, man. This franchise is about death. Give us death. Don't do off-screen deaths. That's no fun. I mean, even Bloodlines showed us our main characters dying at the very least. I think, you know, it would have been kind of mean-spirited, but I would have vibed with it. Wendy just getting, like, plowed by that train, just eviscerated into a bunch of pieces. That could have been kind of fun. Come on now. A, only because she was pretty, says Universal Games. Hey, we absolutely love... we love Wendy. She's a great character for sure. But just judging this based on her kill, you know, it's just like, it's all right. I think if we were judging characters, she would be S tier. If we were just like, if this was character alone, I would put it way up higher. For sure, 100%. Great character from an okay movie, says Mr. Arrowverse. Major saying, I wish some Final Destination movies kept their main characters alive, like Stephanie and Charlie. But it's kind of badass that they don't do that, though, right? Because it's like every franchise kind of does that, and like Final Destination is like, nah, we're not gonna. We're gonna stand out. We're gonna do this instead. It's ballsy. It's ballsy. I appreciate them for doing that. I get why every franchise does it, but it's kind of cool that Final Destination doesn't. Kevin, another train kill. At least you get to see this one. I will say, crush between the train and the tunnel wall. An S tier vote. Interesting. I'm B tier again for this one. No love, no hate. I don't feel like it's the best of the franchise. I don't feel like it's worst. I would not like be like, oh my God, that Kevin Fisher death is so bad. No, it's middle of the road. Middle, you know, that's what I'm saying. 404 is saying sup and none. What's up, dog? How's it going? Who's the girls you played with yesterday? Oh, well, Jess is hanging out with us here. I appreciate her for modding the stream. Really means a lot. And then my fiance as well, Madison, we were playing with. So they are very good friends, very good folks. And also Teddy, Jess's boyfriend, was with us too. So with lots of love for some good people. Who play games with us. Lots of good stuff. So those are the folks who usually join me on the gaming stream. But sometimes we'll even have viewers come in and play with us when we do sometimes we'll end a stream with Fall Guys every now and then. We got to do that again. It's been a while since we did that. Yeah, Jess is saying me in the chat. What's up, Jess? How's it going? Welcome in. But yeah, very good people, very good friends of mine, and my fiance too. So 404, thank you for the 2 though. I really appreciate the support, my friend. Means a ton. Means a ton for you being here. Wendy is still alive, says David. Ooh, she's still alive out there somewhere. Hey, maybe. You never know. She was saved by Peter Pan, potentially. Julie, another train death. Someone's voting C tier. I'm gonna stay consistent. Go B tier. Whatever. Obliterated by a train wheel. Yeah, I mean, her and Kevin kind of die the same way. You know, like I don't really have a strong opinion for either of these ones. The new YouTuber Jake, we love you, brother. I love you too. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching a little Final Destination kill talk. Justin Proper is saying I haven't played Fall Guys in so long. I know. You know what? That's why we started doing it, because I played it like when it first came out, and then I'm like, we should play that sometimes. And then we found out we could easily play with viewers, which was kind of cool. So it's just kind of like you throw a code up and you just join like a custom game or whatever. It's really cool. So we got to do that at the end of a stream again sometime, because that's always a really fun thing to do. But Justin, stop on by some of the gaming streams. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern to play some video games just for a couple hours before bedtime. It's real fun. Always a real fun time over there. Go subscribe to GullGotha. It's a great little page. And again, thank you guys for getting us mostly monetized there. So nearly to that next level of monetization. Hopefully sometime soon we'll make that happen. The train at the end of Final Destination 3, again, I'm staying consistent here. No real surprises with these takes. B tier. We already talked about literally all the kills with that actually unfold there. A little premonition action here again, which is fun. But yeah, the train, I don't care. 081, is that what it is? Yeah, it's a flight 180 backwards basically. Yeah, whatever. Not too much love. Justin, I'm streaming it here on YouTube as of right now. We're going to be multi-streaming to other platforms soon, though. Still figuring that out. But GullGotha, it's a YouTube channel spelled like a seagull, like Gull, and then goth, like the people who wear black clothing. And then an A. GullGotha. Go subscribe. Pretty cool page. Pretty fun times. Train Premonition is B tier. Cool ending to the movie, but not great. I agree. Like, it's like I don't hate it, you know, no hate for this sequence, but it's just like, it's whatever. It's not my favorite part of 3 by any means, but not the worst part either. It's a cool way to, you know, you got to end it with something crazy, I feel. So they found a way to do that in a fun way. Post the link in the chat. Here, I'll kind of you know what? I just realized if I do that. All right, we're going to move it real fast. There we go. You can still see that. Okay, yeah. Just making sure I'm not messing up my own stream. Don't want to mess up my P stream, baby. All right. I just closed it, so I can't do that now. All right, we're opening another tab. Messing this up again. We got Ian McKinley getting crushed by the sign. Where are we putting that one? I'm going C tier as soon as I can vote in this. Nothing that I not a whole lot to love about this one. The effect is pretty bad. So that's why I'm putting it as low as I do. There's the link to GullGotha if y'all want to subscribe. Appreciate y'all a ton for that. I'm going to put this over here if I can. There we go. All right. Not bad. Ian McKinley, yeah, B tier, C tier. I'm going C tier. Yeah, I don't really care for this kill. Ian McKinley, just kind of a whatever kill. It's kind of, you know what, I will say what's cool about this though is he's kind of one of our first like not anti-heroes, but like a first like human antagonist in Final Destination. You don't really get a ton of that in the first 2 movies. Like maybe a little bit with the original Carter, but not really. Like I feel like Ian McKinley's like our first real first person to really carry out that idea. It's executed better with Peter in 5 for sure, but Ian McKinley, cool character. But he's just kind of crushed by a sign. Whatever. Not too much love for this one. It is a kill we never saw in a movie before Bloodlines, but it is a cool kill. It's a first. Okay, you know, that's a good point. If it goes to A tier, I'd be okay with that. It's a first in the franchise. That's something. Getting crushed. The effect is just pretty bad. I think the effect in Bloodlines is better. Perry's death. I'm not crazy about this one. This one's kind of mid to me. This one's like I'm going C tier with this one as well. It happens so fast, like I don't even think you even realize it happens. Like she just gets a flagpole through her chest. It's just like bam, just like that. And this nothing character's gone, basically. So you might have even forgotten this was a character or a kill in the film, in Final Destination 3. So Perry, I'm going C tier with this one. Kind of forgettable. That's why it goes pretty low for me. Cinepixel is saying, Jake, which Marvel actor would you love to see in a Final Destination film? We are big Sebastian Stan fans in this household, both Madison and I. I'd love to see him in just more things in general. So he's a great actor, and I feel like he's only really now getting praise for a lot of his other roles outside of Bucky Barnes, but I love him quite a bit. I think he's a very good actor. Sebastian is really good in the movie Fresh, by the way, if you haven't seen that one. That's Jess's favorite horror movie. Major Foster is saying, can you give me a shout out on your next Scream video? And I wish that Anya Taylor-Joy would have played Justine Gandy in Weapons. That's an interesting casting. I like that. I think that Julia Garner did a really good job, but I would not have minded that Anya Taylor-Joy playing that role. I'll give you a Scream shout out. I'll give you a shout out if you hit me up with some news or something. I always give people shout outs who, throw something my way or whatever for a video. 100%. Next up, what's the next kill? We got Erin Ulmer. She kind of gets the Evil Dead 2013 death before that movie even came out. Bunch of nails to the face. This is an A tier for me. I don't think I would go so far as to say S tier, but it's cool as fuck. Love all the nail guns shooting in her face. It's pretty fucking sick. But yeah, I'm not quite S tier for me personally, but I'd put it up there for sure. This one's brutal. This also sets off Ian McKinley on his whole evil tirade, so that's kind of sick. Jess is saying definitely not my favorite horror movie. It made Jess throw up. She was not a fan of she was not a fan of Fresh. I found a way to bring it up, so I thought that was fun. What else is going on? New YouTuber is saying horror has done so good. Bloodline 28 years later and Weapons. It has been a phenomenal year for horror. Nearly my favorite year I've ever covered. I think 2025 is only bested by 2022, which I think it's still the best year of horror I've ever covered. My God, so many 10 out of 10 movies came out that year. Easily, I feel the best. Not easily, but the best year I've covered for horror. 2025 is sneaking up there, man, though. We've had some big hits and some surprises, too. David Primero, thank you for the $2, my friend. I appreciate it. Saying Final Destination 3 is the best. The flag scene was surprising. You didn't see it coming then. Okay. All right, rock on. I do love Final Destination 3. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong here. I'm just saying there's maybe some kills are better than others. That's all I'm trying to say. I like that Aaron's got the S tier, though. Secured the S vote. Very cool. Oh, this, this is one I also don't really like about Final Destination 3, David. I'm so sorry. I do love Final Destination 3. Don't get me wrong, but Lewis, I'm going, this is an apologetic B tier. I think C tier any other day of the week, but I'm in a good mood. So Lewis, middle of the road. The effect is real bad. Like maybe one of the worst effects in the franchise when those weights come down and smash his head and that blood spray comes on. It looks like a Mortal Kombat 1 fatality. And I'm talking like PlayStation 1, not PlayStation 2. Ooh, yikes. It's not great, but it's at least a fun kill with a kind of it has a little bit of a funny moment to it beforehand. He's like, I'm never gonna die. And he's like going nuts on the machine and then just like, bam, head obliterated. So I'm middle of the road with this one. But David, again, thank you for the 2, my friend. I really appreciate it. I do love Final Destination 3. Honestly, I think if I had to re-rank the franchise, I'd go Bloodlines 5, 3. Like that's how just in general is movies. Those are my 3 favorites to watch. 6, 5, and 3. Those are definitely my favorites of the whole series. Hey, Ghostface is hanging out with us saying, sup, Jake. I ranked the Bloodlines ending deaths in D tier, mainly because it felt so rushed. Fair enough. I don't think it felt rushed. It just felt like they were committing to the bit. Like it's like, oh, Final Destination hasn't been around for a while. Let's bring it back to form. You know what I mean? Let's remind everybody this is the franchise where everybody dies no matter what. That's kind of how I felt about it. It does come out of nowhere. It does feel very quick. But I don't know. I don't feel like it was rushed personally. I understand that take though. I understand feeling like it was rushed. Now, Frankie Cheeks, terrible character, but a top 10 death of the whole series, ladies and gentlemen, from part 3. That motor to the back of the head, that's an easy S tier. Some great blood and gore in that in that drive-through. Probably the worst thing that could happen to somebody in a fast food drive-through. Am I right? And his name is Frankie Cheeks. I mean, you can't even say that and not giggle a little bit. What? Come on. Who named this? What guy allowed that in the script? Who wrote this movie? I need to know. So funny. I love it. Michael Rue is saying, damn, I'm late. Hope you guys had a good stream. We're still going, dog. We haven't even talked about Final Destination 1 or 2 yet. You got so much time, Michael. You can still vote by clicking on that link that's pinned into the chat there at the very top. You can come on here and vote all you want. We have 43 participants, so come on in and vote amongst all of us and see where these kills land. This has been a fun one to do, I'll tell you what. We've had a very interesting list here so far. Candace is in first place. Skyview Tower Collapse is in second. Eric in third. That's kind of our top 3. Molly's in fourth place. I'm shocked about that. That's kind of crazy. Olivia Castle with the eyes. Frankie's taken that, comfortably taking that 6th spot. Aaron in 7. Isaac in 8th. Carter 9. And Sam 10. But Ashley and Ashland is about to fuck up this board. One of the best kills from the whole franchise again. Final Destination 3 just fucking up this board, baby. This could take our top spot, if I'm being honest. I see this one moving up. Ooh, baby. Yeah, Ashley and Ashland getting the tanning bed kill. It's brutal. They're kind of like nothing paper-thin characters, you know what I mean? But their death is just so memorable. It makes them stand out for that reason alone. You gotta love that tanning bed match cut to the funeral as well, with the coffin side by side. I mean, that is one of the nastiest match cuts in film history, baby. Like, even outside of Final Destination, that goes hard. Pure cinema right there. Gotta love that about Final Destination 3. It's in fourth place right now. Can it go even higher? I would love to see this one go all the way to the top. That would make me so happy. S for Ashley and Ashland, 100% agreed. Oh, it's in second place, baby. Ashley and Ashland fucking up the board. Love to see it. Oh man, Ashley and Ashland is S tier. Great kills, brutal kills to annoying characters, says Mr. Arrowverse. Something this franchise does very well, for sure. Did I see your thoughts on Weapons, Mr. Arrowverse? I might have missed it, but I love Weapons. One of my favorite movies of I think it's my favorite film of the year so far. Major Foster is saying, did you see on Beyond the Mask, he made a video about Scream 7. We see a video of Tatum. Yes, I reported on that 6 months before he did. Me and Craven Something Scary were the ones to break that, and they decided to use that video, which came from old Jake and Craven. But anyways, Devil's Flight. Definitely one of the better premonitions, one of the most memorable ones. Where would I put this? S tier or 8? Is this an S tier? I'm going to say S tier. Fuck it. I don't even care. Throw it up there. We love Devil's Flight. Yes, I put this one high up because I think it bangs. It's one that scared me as a kid. I think it's less scary now as an adult. I think like adult Jake would probably say A, but the childlike heart of mine just wants to put this in S. I was so scared of this one as a kid, so I like that quite a bit. Taft Studio is saying S for Devil Flight. David is saying, you know what makes Final Destination 3 the best and different out of the rest? It's because the characters were relatable, and the more you watch it over and over, you can feel Wendy's character. I do agree it has some of the best. Definitely has some of the best characters. The only downside to 3 is some of the effects haven't aged very well. That's really my only big negative. I really like the photos, having the clues in the photos. I think that's a really fun little device that's unique to 3. Wendy Christensen, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, one of the best performances in the whole franchise, without a doubt. I'm making fun of the effects, but it really does have some of the best kills in the whole series. So I do have a lot of love for Final Destination 3. It's just barely not my favorite. There's a lot of good ones in this series, though. Brian Gibbons is one of the funniest kills in the whole franchise. S tier. I don't care. He fucking explodes at the end of this movie. That's so funny. 10 out of 10. No notes. No criticism. So funny. Johanna K throwing $10 out there. Thank you, Johanna. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. You're saying my little brother got me on a roller coaster once after I told him I wouldn't because of Final Destination 3. Tell me why the whole time he's turned around in his seat yelling Final Destination in my face. That is fucking evil. What? Oh my God. Like it's one thing to, remind somebody of that scene before getting on before getting on the coaster, but yelling it in your face the whole time, that's fucking brutal. Jeez. You should make him watch like the Terrifier movies or something. That would be really funny. Put on like the most vicious horror film you can possibly find. And then see if he sleeps for a week. That would be hilarious. No, no, I'm kidding, John. Johanna, thank you for the $10. That is absolutely. You have so many great Final Destination stories between that and the Seattle Needle. That's insane. Final Destination really fucking up some shit out there. It really does make you afraid of like so many mundane things though, and I think that's that's the brilliance of this series. That's what makes it so evergreen. Final Destination, one of those franchises that can go on forever. You can make 100 of these things and still not be stale. I feel there's always going to be something mundane you can make scary. So truly a brilliant franchise. So glad Brian made it up to S tier. Let's go, baby. Clear Rivers, great character. Death is kind of mid though. B tier for the death. Again, if we were ranking characters, this would be an S. She's my favorite character from the original Final Destination, but in terms of her death, that explosion just does not look great. Ugh. First time we really have some majorly bad effects in the franchise, I feel, is that explosion towards the end of Final Destination 2. Her and Eugene getting engulfed in that PS1 graphic flame. Not a great kill for a very great character. One of the most iconic, for sure. Major Foster is saying, who do you think the killer is for Scream 7? I'm really banking on one of the bigger stars. Like, I know that seems kind of like the easy cop-out answer, but like, why wouldn't they do that? Hi. How are you? You're home early. Do you have food for me?
Thing full of mushroom barbecue. It needs to be heated up.
I love you. I love you so much. No fucking way you brought me home some of this. Ladies and gentlemen, she was making fun of me all morning. Like we get up early, I make her coffee, and she's like, I'm having good food for lunch. Don't pack me a lunch. I'm going to get Mission Barbecue. Get fucked, is what she said to me. You said that, right? No, I'm kidding. She didn't say that. But she was gloating a little bit. And and then she comes home and she brings me some. See, this is why I put a ring on that, baby. That's why. Right here, baby. Damn. I'm a lucky man. What can I say? I'm a real lucky guy. Eugene Dix, burned B tier. Not even gonna elaborate. B, like Eugene, bro. Eugene's kind of annoying to me too. I think he annoys me a little bit. He's a little whiny, a little whiny at times in this one. What is cool about Eugene, one cool thing is he learns that you can't die before it's your turn. That's kind of a really interesting thing that's introduced with this character in the film. So I will give him that. But man, I don't know, this character, not a whole lot to love about the death either. He's going to C tier is what it seems. I think it's interesting that Clear Rivers made it to B and oh, okay, hang on. Never mind. I spoke too soon. I spoke far too soon. Eugene and Clear are right around the same spot. Okay. Yeah, that feels about right to me. It's the same death. I mean, it's the same kill, so it's like, I feel like we kind of got to rank them the same way. Ghostface is saying that I'm enjoying my food too much, so we're not talking about you. Hey, I got the Eugene. I got something in about Eugene. I'm just saying my fiance is fucking awesome. And smoking hot, so I'm just she's great. So you got out of work early though. That's awesome. Now she doesn't even care. She's like, I don't want to be part of that stream. You got out of work early. That's great. I'm just so happy for you. That's awesome. Fuck that shit. It's Friday. We're done.
Got paid till 5 o'clock.
Oh, and you got paid till 5? She's killing it, ladies and gentlemen. My sugar mama out there. Rory Peters trisected. Fuck yeah, he gets cut into multiple pieces. This is almost an S tier for me. I'm not going to lie. This is a pretty damn good kill. He gets cut in half by that fence, that barbed wire fence just slices through him. I'm going S tier. Fuck it. I don't care. We're going up there, baby. This is a pretty damn good kill. I feel like this, I wouldn't put this towards the top of my list, but it's up there, man. It's one of the, it's a pretty shocking moments, I feel, and it's also pretty brutal. Some good practicals mixed with some green screen action here. Nice way to do it. Gotta love it. Pretty crazy kill. Taft is saying, Jake, it's snacking time. You're damn right. Oh, we're fun. When this stream is over, I'm going to town on that barbecue. It's going to be gross. It's actually going to be an upsetting scene.
You want to know
What's in there?
Pulled pork.
Pulled pork?
Pulled chicken.
Pulled chicken.
Beans.
Beans?
Mac and cheese.
So, mac and cheese. Okay. Okay.
I think that's it.
I want to end the stream. I love Final Destination, but I want to end the stream now. You're making this sound way too damn good. Rory is an A tier kill. Rock on. It's towards the top, you know, for sure. Are you happy you're out of that outfit finally? That they forced you to wear? That's so funny.
They made me pay for.
They made you pay for it too? Oh, well, at least they gave you
$5, Jacob.
free food. Wasn't even worth that. Kat Jennings, however, great kill. B's and C's. This is an upset right here. This is shocking. Kat Jennings' kill is kind of vicious. I kind of love this one. It's not an S tier, but it's an A tier for sure for me. Brutal. Oh, this is gonna be an upset, I feel. Damn. I feel like we haven't had an upset all stream, so this is going to be exciting. I'm exciting for a big, like, oh, wow, a shocking, like, gasps. Matt C434 is saying, I hate that scene when Eugene wants to, himself, but the gun doesn't work. It's such an aggressive and unsubtly way to tell us it's impossible to die before your turn. I do agree. That's kind of why he annoys me a little bit. It's a little whiny, little bit of a whiny character, and not in a fun Bill Paxton way, like in just a kind of an annoying way. But it is a cool idea though that they introduced with him. I think I like the idea that you can't die before it's your turn. Has this like cosmic evil energy about it that I kind of vibe with. Kat is an A tier, great and brutal kill. I agree. That's the PVC pipe going through her head is crazy, man. That's a very sick kill in my opinion. Speaking of pulled chicken, the elevator death. Yeah, we're getting to that. All right. We're getting to that. I saw a wood chipper on my way into a shop a few months ago and had to warn Kimberly. That's so funny. Yeah, make sure she doesn't go in that. That'd be brutal. I'm really glad that Bloodlines undid that kill. That was no fun. Okay, Kat made it to B tier. I can live with that. At least it's not C tier. You know, that's some negative shit right there. Nora, elevator, taken out. Head decapitated. Well, I don't know why I couldn't get that word out. You know, this might be a hot take, but I'm going B tier with this one because I feel like Bloodlines did it better. Like that premonition kill, man, is just such a better elevator kill. It kind of lessens this one for me, if I'm being honest. This one is brutal though, really good at building tension, maybe more than anything. I think we've all been terrified about getting stuck in an elevator this way, in the way that Nora does. We've all had this thought about getting into an elevator before, so this is a good kill. But I just I feel like Bloodlines kind of ruined it for me. That old dude getting cut like in half this way, like that was such a good idea for an elevator death, dude. Brutal shit. Mr. Arrowverse is saying, did you see what I said about the actor for Eugene? The actor was the original voice. Oh, no way. I didn't know that. What? Eugene was the voice actor for Kratos? Oh, he goes up a tick for me. Oh, he goes up to B tier for me personally then. I think I put him in C. Eugene goes up. That's way too cool. I love Kratos. He's got a great voice. I didn't know that. No way, dude. Okay, rock on Eugene. Shit. Mind is totally, I did not know that at all. That's so cool, dude. Kratos, great character. Love God of War so much. So much fun, those games. Tim Carpenter's death is so funny. It's going in S tier. I'm so, like, this is a bad kill, but it's just fucking hilarious. This is like a near adult and he's playing around with pigeons. And then that, the glass pane comes down and crushes him. That's so funny. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean this almost like teenager turning into an adult is playing around with pigeons that he sees? That's so funny, dude. 10 out of 10, no notes. Like, I laugh every time I see this scene. Tim's death is great. We're voting, ladies and gentlemen. Throw it out there. We only got like 4 people voting right now. What's going on? Y'all thinking? Y'all like it's silly, but it kind of sucks. Is that what is that the mentality of this? I'd understand. What's the name of the guy who died at the end of Final Destination 5? I think that was Nathan, if I'm not correct. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, he made it into B tier. Nathan's he was the very last kill of Final Destination 5, I believe. Tim A tier, funny death. I mean, it's so funny. It cracks me up every time I see it. The pigeons is the thing that makes him go over there. Like, oh my God. I would just love to be in that writer's room and just be like cracking up about that. That's so fun. And then it's even funnier that they cast somebody who doesn't look like a young kid like that. Like he kind of does, but not young enough. He looks like he's a teenager. Damn, Tim is going to S. If someone else votes, though, this could be an upset. We could send him into A. Oh, man. We had a sniper waiting for the last second to vote A just so he would go down a tick. Brutal. Someone is out there cracking up right now. Y'all are brutal, man. Evan Lewis, this is an A tier kill for me. I'm going to be honest. I like this. I kind of like the setup for this one, maybe more than I should. The death itself doesn't look great, but again, cool concept. I like the ladder going through his skull. And he's kind of an early version of like, not an early version. He's our Carter from part 2 in this movie, essentially. He's the asshole character that dies and it's satisfying, essentially, from Final Destination 2, I feel. While the effect is not great, I really like the whole setup in his apartment burning down is really cool. I like that he like is super lucky and won a bunch of money from a lottery ticket. Like that's really funny to me. Lots to love about this one. Some pretty solid stuff there. Cryptic Haze is saying Eric's actor loves this one. Ooh, okay, very nice. It's fun. It's one that's been referenced a lot in the Bloodlines marketing. Interestingly enough. Actress for Cat, she was in a really good show called Bates Motel. I still have to watch Bates Motel. A lot of good people in that show. Across the board, some great actors in there. Definitely got to get into that show at some point. That's one that's been on my list for like forever. Mandy Jean is saying, hey, Jake and co. Yo, Mandy Jean. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for talking a little Final Destination with us. You still have time to vote. We still have, 7 more deaths, I think, to vote on? Yes, 7 more. 7 more, and then we're wrapping this bad boy up. So the link for that is at the top of the stream. Go ahead and click it. Give it a little click and come and vote. Or don't and just watch and see where these things go. That's also fine too. No pressure either way, but I thought it's always fun to vote. It's always fun to throw a vote in there. Looks like Evan is going to... Wait, what's going on? I was going to say, it looks like he's going to A tier, but the timer seems to have stopped. Okay, there we go. All right, we're ticking again, baby. 50 seconds on the board. You have extra time to vote on Evan, so we could have some real upsets. We could have some real fucked up shit happen here. Arrowverse is saying, it is a great show. I will say this final season wasn't great, but the final episode was sad. Well, damn. I hope it's not Game of Thrones again, where it's just like the whole show was great and they whiffed that final season. That would bum me out. But Nathan was an annoying character for me. You would say Ghostface. I don't remember really being annoyed by him. I'm trying to remember more of Nathan's character traits throughout the movie. He was not a very memorable character trying to remember. Really trying to think of something about the Final Destination 5. Biggest criticisms about it is I'm not loving all the side characters, but that twist is so good and the kills are so good. That's what makes it stand out for me. Outside of some of the main folks, the main players there. Champ Kine is pretty good. Okay, sorry, I'm going off the rails. Route 23, our opening premonition to Final Destination 2. I mean, this to me is the number one. Like, this is top of the list. The very best like kill sequence or just sequence in general from all of Final Destination. Oh boy, do I love it. Final Destination 2, I have my criticisms of it, but I think it easily has the very best premonition in the whole franchise. Like this is Route 23, my favorite premonition of the whole bunch, without a doubt. Johanna is saying that Bates Motel is your favorite show. That's awesome. Rock on with that. I got to get in. I just bought the 4 Psycho movies, and yes, I said 4. There's not a 5. There's not a remake. There's not a shot-for-shot remake. What are you talking about? But I've been wanting to go through those sequels again, so now I'm gonna have to watch the show at some point. Definitely got to make that happen when I can. Got to get into that. The log in the face was great. Yes, the log going through what's his face? Burke's face is fucking awesome. Love that. This is my favorite premonition. It's so brutal. And it still ends with a lot of kills, dude. Like all the people in the car getting like eviscerated like a second later. And Kimberly just barely lives through that. Like that's awesome, dude. Killer way to start your movie. Because you kind of think it's like, oh, it's going to be about her and her friends again. But no. Alex Browning, hit with a brick off screen. Terrible. D tier. Sucks. What are you talking about? One of the best characters in Final Destination, and he gets a shitty off-screen kill. 0 out of 10. This is like one of those kills that's actually so bad, I'd be fine with them undoing it. Like, I'd be so fine with them saying, like, he just, like, faked his death or something and went into hiding. I don't even care. Like, Alex Browning, bring him back, dude. That's such a terrible way to kill off such a great character. Major D tier there. Bates Motel is like the prequel to the original Psycho, but to me it's set in another universe because of the final season. Well, don't say any more than that. I don't want to know. I want to go into this blind. I've seen the Psycho movies. That's all I know. I know nothing about the plot of the show. I think is it Vera Farmiga that like plays his mom though? I might know that. I may know that. That might be something. Now I get to really feel like my vote counts, says Mandy Jean. Hey, hell yeah. Rock on, rock on. Here, I feel like we've been pretty unanimous about things. Mostly been in agreement or close to it. I would say that like pretty much this entire time, which I think has been really fun. There's really only been that one up. I feel like Kat Jennings is my only upset vote. That one I feel should have been higher. But besides that, I'm pretty happy with where a lot of these landed. Alex going to D tier, where that dumb kill belongs. Carter Horton crushed by a sign. This is off screen, but it's fun. But it's kind of a fun off screen. I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B tier for Carter. I'm glad he deserved to die. This is a kind of an annoying character for sure. But it's a kill that I don't know. We don't see it, so like that definitely loses some major points, and I see wanting to throw it lower for that reason. But it's a fun little stinger for the end of this movie. Like whatever. I'm glad we got it. Vera is great as his mother in Bates. Okay, that is Vera Farmiga. I was like, ooh, I want to say I've heard that before, but I wasn't 100% sure. I'm excited for The Conjuring 4, man. I hope that's good with her. I feel like we haven't had a good Conjuring film in a little while, so nothing would make me happier than for Last Rites to be like this big hit right at the end here. Where is Carter Horton's death gonna go? I'm so curious. Z tier, says Cryptic Haze. Fuck this one. Bottom of the barrel. It's off screen. It's off screen. I get the hate. Totally understand that. There's worse off-screen kills, though. That's another thing. There's totally, like, at least you kind of, like, it's a little fun the way they did it. Like, he, like, dodged it, and then he's like, oh, sweet, dude. And then it comes back or whatever. That's kind of funny to me. Some fun setups and payoffs with this little end at Paris, which I believe they reshot. They actually reshot this. Because the test audiences didn't like the original ending. Billy Hitchcock gets decapitated when that piece of the car shoots through his head. I'm going to say A tier. I wish it was a little more elaborate, but it's a really good, brutal, practical effect here. So the effect gets some really major points for this one. It's also pretty shocking. Like, I kind of feel like you don't see this one coming. Sean William Scott is kind of like this goofy, fun character. You're not really expecting him to die. I feel like, again, first Final Destination, you're not as familiar with the franchise. You don't think that this one's going to be as, you don't think it's going to get as brutal as it does. But then, Billy getting that kind of brutal decapitation is pretty sick. So I've always really liked this one. This is a big, this is a standout from the original Final Destination for me. It's pretty solid kill. In a film that honestly, the kills aren't so great. I don't know. That original Final Destination, I don't think has the very best kills of the franchise. Maybe some of the weakest, actually. But this one stands out. Do like it quite a bit. They do have there's a little more of a focus on practical effects in that first Final Destination, though, which is where it gets props for me. But the kills aren't as like outrageous and fun. And that's kind of like my favorite thing about the sequels is you get these like over the top deaths you wouldn't get in any other franchise. That's the appeal to the series. That's kind of what happened to it beyond the first movie. But still a pretty solid decapitation. Gotta love it. Happy that one's an A tier. Okay. Valerie Luton stabbed by a knife that just like falls on her because her glass cracked or I don't know. This one is a C tier. I feel like this one could have been better. Again, I appreciate the practicals, but in terms of concept, I've just never been really crazy about this one. I don't know. Not a whole lot of love in my opinion. Rena Mom is saying great stream. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. I'm glad you're digging it. Glad you're having fun hanging out with us. Talking a little Final Destination. Valerie Luton, yeah, just I don't know, just a kill I've never really been super fond of, but I do appreciate the practical. It doesn't go to, I don't hate this one. It doesn't go to D tier, but it could have been a better setup, I feel, opposed to the glass cracking. Oh, Mandy, do we keep voting the same? That's weird. We're on the same wavelength. Same wavelength here. Oh, this is an upset. Going all the way up to S tier. 3 votes for S tier. That's crazy. This is an upset right here, baby. It felt more like a Scream kill than Final Destination. I totally agree. Yeah, it feels a little out of place in this one. It's extremely mid, yeah. Going up to it's in S tier right now, though, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of insane. Was not expecting this. What? She's an S tier. Infant Sky, why? Like, why is this an S tier for you? I'm just curious. You thought it was brutal as fuck. The knife in the abdomen, like, I don't know. It's just kind of compared to everything else on this list. You know what I mean? Like, that's a bit of an upset. S tier for Valerie. I was not expecting that one. This one should be an S tier, though. Terry Chaney getting hit by that bus. The shock of it alone sends it to S tier. This is top. This is right up there. That's pretty sweet. This is one of the most shocking jump scares I feel like just in film history. For that, it deserves a top spot. Top 10 jump scare of all time, in my humble opinion. Infinite Sky is saying her house exploded. I guess I don't like when houses explode in horror movies. Between that scene and Scream 3, like definitely low points of both of those films for me personally, just in my opinion. I don't like the setup, especially, is my least favorite thing about it. The practical effect with the knives in her stomach or whatever is kind of cool. I don't like the buildup. I don't know. Darfelina just said they did like the buildup. I must be in the minority there, man. I don't know. I think it's kind of goofy the way they have the glass crack and then she puts the vodka in there. It's like, I don't know. There's just too much. There's too much goofiness about that scene. It kind of loses me. Was never been crazy about it. I'm glad you like it though. This one's mid for you, was more of a jump scare than a proper kill. But what's wrong with that? Candace's death is kind of just a jump scare, and she's top of the list, baby. I love me a good jump scare. What can I say? The Rube Goldberg of it kept it out of D tier and bumped her up for a C to me. Yeah, they do some good setup with like they try to set it up and interesting. I don't know. I don't buy she would need like over 100 proof alcohol and shit for the glass and that glass cracking the way it does. And she doesn't notice. I don't know. It's just kind of goofy to me. Todd Wagner. You know what? This is kind of a mid kill, but it goes to A tier just barely for me. Because is this our last one? Brutal. Todd's kill, technically our first Final Destination death. It's an A tier only because it's really brutal the way they shoot it. When he's sitting there and getting strangled and his eyes go bloodshot, that really works for me. I don't know why, but that's really upsetting to me. If this goes to S tier, whatever, I'll be fine with it. I'll go up. We can go up there. That's fine. That's totally fine with this one. It's I don't think it's one of the best kills in the whole franchise. I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but it is a kind of a brutal moment, man. That first Final Destination rocks. Todd's death was vicious. His eyes went bloodshot. Well, hey, we can agree there, Infinite Sky. This was a vicious one. It's a simple kill. Nothing too crazy. The one thing, honestly, what keeps this out of S tier for me personally is death like cleaning up the liquid afterwards. It's like, why, dude? What? Like, why would you do that? You know, what's the goal there, buddy? So I've never really been crazy about that. Don't like the sucking up the blue liquid back up into the drain or whatever, but it is a brutal kill though. It goes up there to A. I think that's fair. It's his feet kicking and not getting traction that does it for you. Oh yeah, that is pretty upsetting as well. The wet bathtub. Yeah, it's kind of sick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our list. How many kills? I always, I don't know. I don't know the exact number. I think it was 68 or something like that. But here's what we're looking like in terms of what you've been looking at the whole time for most votes. I'm going to show you my list real quick. I got Eric Campbell at the top, which is kind of sick. I'm kind of happy with that. Not a whole lot of huge big changes here. Eric is number 1. The Skyview Tower collapse seems to be I don't think this is going off of like vote percentage. It's just going off of where I put things. Not a whole lot that's different from the most votes. We almost agreed. I agreed with the majority most of the time, which doesn't usually happen. Usually I'm typically against the majority, which is kind of cool. Average votes, we only see 12% in S tier, which I think is interesting. Ashley and Ashlyn is up there. Route 23, Eric Campbell. Skyview Tower, Candace Hooper, Devil's Run, and Rory Peters. The only ones that make it up to S tier, which I think is cool. In terms of averages, 36% go to A, which is our biggest category here with all of those bad boys. I'm not going to run through them all again. 29% in B, 16% in C, and 7% in D. Only 4 made it to D, which is Nick. Really, Nick getting burned alive in there? Kind of crazy. Lori from the. Oh no, Nick sucks. I forgot. Yeah, no wait, different character. Yeah, Nick, Lori, and Janet. They all get off-screen dumb animated kills. No, they all deserve to be in D. And then Alex, the brick kill. That always sucks, man. Never been a fan of that one. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I greatly appreciate you for being here and doing these tier list streams. Are like some of the most fun streams we get to do on the page, in my humble opinion. So again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I have a ton of barbecue to eat, so I'm not going to get into that. But we will be live again on Monday on this page. Maybe a stream on Saturday. I'm not going to make any promises over on the gaming channel. But if not, we'll be live on the gaming channel Tuesday, live on here on Monday for some more Scream Talk. So stop on by for that. Guys, thank you again for watching. As always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Oh, and let me know in the comments what tier list do you want to do next. Maybe Terrifier kills. That's what I'm thinking. Terrifier kill ranking stream. Let me know down in let me know down in the comments of this video. But again, peace out, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Be safe and don't